Hey, it's Cyrus. Welcome to this meditative exercise to overcome apathy and fear. This is a short, repeatable exercise you can do to let go of internal blocks to things that you might ideally want to do, but there's part of you that feels like you can't or there's something holding you back. If this works well, I suggest using it again on different areas of your life until you're able to do anything that you want to do, without apathy or fear or any other kind of internal block holding you back. This exercise is inspired by the book Letting Go: The Pathway of Surrender by David Hawkins, so if this resonates, I highly recommend getting a copy of that book. Without further ado, let's begin. Start off by eliminating any potential distractions, getting into a comfortable position, and closing your eyes. With your eyes closed, take a deep, slow breath in through the nose for 4 seconds. Hold the breath for a couple seconds, feeling your body as you hold. And super slowly release out through the mouth, allowing yourself to relax and release any tension as you exhale. To briefly ground yourself before we begin, just start off by noticing the sounds in the room. Notice the feeling of your hands and the energy and tingling vibrations in your hands. Notice the flow of breath at your nostrils as it comes to you at whatever pace that it does, like a soothing wave. And as you allow the breath to drop down into the chest and stomach, just notice the sensations that you feel in the chest and stomach area. And now choose one thing that you feel apathetic or scared about in your life that you would like to do, but you feel those emotions in the way of that. Something that feels manageable, that you feel ready to approach and explore. And as you start to become aware of that, sometimes we notice a feeling of, I can't do that thing. And sometimes that can be true, but other times that can be a story that we've been telling ourselves for a long time. So in this moment, we could experiment to see if it's true that instead that I can't do this thing, it's simply that I won't do this thing. And to test and explore that, see yourself taking the first few steps towards doing whatever that thing is. If you feel safe and able to do so in this moment, envision yourself taking those first few steps of doing that thing as clearly as possible, and stay tuned in to how you feel in your body as you see yourself doing that. And non-judgmentally notice what's arisen. Perhaps there's a feeling of fear, or frustration, or embarrassment, or any combination of these emotions. But whatever is currently the strongest and most obvious emotion, simply focus on that and acknowledge it non-judgmentally to yourself now. Notice where you feel the sensations of that emotion in your body. Notice what the sensations feel like. And now ignore the thoughts, simply let them be in the background, but don't focus on them. Focus all your attention on the sensations of the energy in your body. And now shift into allowing mode. Don't try to change or escape the feeling. Simply welcome it to be there if you're able to do so. Ignore the thoughts and allow the feeling in a state of non-resistance as you watch it. Keep setting the thoughts aside gently and focus more of your attention more deeply on the sensations in the body, releasing any layer of internal resistance or control, ignoring the thoughts and surrendering to the flow of that energy as you watch it wash through you like a wave. And now invite yourself to surrender and release that feeling. Don't think about how to do it. Simply be willing to let go of that energy. Allow it to lift and evaporate out of your body as you simply breathe and allow it to crackle up and out and through into the space around you, handing it over to be dissolved by the greater energy around you. And now invite in some positive feelings, some lightness, some space. And now once again return to the visualization of going through the steps of that activity. Notice what other feelings or hesitations or internal forms of resistance arise. Start to focus in on the next most obvious emotion or roadblock. Maybe it's something very specific. Embrace whatever specificity or vagueness the feeling presents as, and once again, acknowledge it non-judgmentally to yourself now. Allow the feeling to rise up and be present in the body. Notice where you feel it and what the sensations feel like. And once again, ignore the thoughts. Focus all the attention on the particular sensations and energy of this feeling in the body. Don't resist, judge, condemn, or try to change the feeling. Simply allow it. Ignore the thoughts. Watch the sensations with most or all of your attention. Let go of any remaining layers of control, release. Imagine a big space opening up around the feeling, and feel yourself relaxing into that space. Notice how you are not the feelings associated with this thing. You are simply watching the feelings that arise. And if it feels safe to let go of this feeling now, if it's no longer serving you, just hand it over, let it go, let it lift off and dissolve into stardust and nothingness, like it was never there, just breathing it out and through as much as you feel able to in this moment. And in the greater space you're opening up, welcome in a sense of possibility, of balance, of openness and opportunity. Not thinking, but simply breathing those energies through the cells of your body. Perhaps recognizing that they were within you all along. And to be very thorough, we're going to do it on one more feeling, to hopefully clear things out as fully as possible. So once again, envision yourself going through the process of that thing. See if there's any remaining feelings, even if they're slight or subtle, that arise as resistances or roadblocks to the smooth, balanced, and perhaps even confident doing of that activity. Whatever arises, whether subtle or obvious, take a moment to non-judgmentally acknowledge it to yourself. Let the feeling rise up to the surface of the body. Notice where you feel it and what it feels like. Release as much internal resistance as possible, ignore the thoughts, and watch the sensations and feeling in the body. Let go of any hanging on or control and simply feel yourself relaxing into whatever remains of the feeling as you ignore the thoughts and stay with the sensations. Let the sensations go now, let them lift, let them dissolve if they're no longer serving you. And feel any remaining pressure, tension, or burden spontaneously decompressing, dissolving, and disappearing as completely as possible. Feel yourself letting go beyond the normal limits of logic or any rhyme or reason, being open to as much of a miraculous dissolution of these sensations as possible. And in the space that you've opened up, welcome in a feeling of courage, acceptance, trust, and peace. Once again, not thinking, but simply opening to those energies and breathing them in abundance through every cell of the body. And now from this new state of energy and mind that you've created and aligned to, envision yourself going through those steps, and without any judgment, notice any shift in your feeling or perception. Notice that there may or may not still be some fear, some apathy, some form of block. But notice how you may have lowered the intensity of those emotions, and they may no longer be prohibitive. You may or may not notice that instead, the stronger energies are the positive ones, whether that be a sense of courage, a can-do attitude, enthusiasm, excitement, curiosity, a sense of opportunity and embracing the process. And perhaps with simply the power of your mind, you've created a shift within yourself. And maybe it still feels like you can't do it, or maybe it's shifted to a knowledge that I simply won't do it, and you can choose to be in a state of self-acceptance about that. Or maybe it's shifted to I won't do it for now, but I'm open to it at some point. Or maybe it's shifted to I can do it, and I will do it, even though I feel some fear or some apathy or whatever it is. These internal shifts are often all we need to take the first small steps if we choose to. So if you're not at that point, that's fine, no judgment. But if you feel like you might be, I invite you to take this opportunity to perhaps commit to yourself to taking the first small steps at some point. Maybe today, maybe this week, but just taking this moment as an opportunity to solidify that in your mind if you feel it would be beneficial. If you feel like the emotions associated with the activity you chose are still of a noticeable intensity, or there's other emotions that you didn't get a chance to work through regarding this activity, you can repeat this exercise envisioning the same activity if you feel like it would be beneficial to continue to clear out those blocks. And if this worked well for you, consider repeating this exercise on things you might want to do but feel some block or fear or apathy towards, and it will likely create a cumulative momentum confidence building effect where you might find yourself feeling able to do multiple things that you previously felt unable to do. Please share this track with anyone you think it might benefit. Also, please consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already for more content like this, and feel free to leave a like, a comment, to make a donation, to ask a question, and I hope you have a fantastic day.